Hello there and welcome to another video from Change Tips and Tools. And yes, it's me, Phil the Brummie, that hails from Birmingham, England. Now this video is part 3 of our second Power BI training series, where we will look at building the visuals on our report with some tips and tricks, re-layout and background design. So let's do this. So here we have our Power BI desktop application with our data model completed. We now need to think about what our report will contain. So let's create our pages and think about the layout. And let's think about creating some placeholders for what's in our report. So the first page, let's rename these. So I'm going to do rename, and this is going to be our portfolio summary. Just rename that. Return. So this is going to have a high level mix of resources and budget data. The next page, let's do another new page. Let's rename this one, and this one will be the portfolio budget, which again will be high level. This will be focused on budget versus actuals. And then let's do another page for our resources. Let's rename that. Let's call that portfolio resources. Return. And this will be focused on demand versus capacity and resource utilization. So those will be our main 3 pages. So the summary, the budget and the portfolio resources. We'll then require some support pages that won't be visible on the actual main Power BI report, but will be the support pages for the Power BI's drill through capabilities. So let me create those as well. And there you go. So I've now created the support sheets here. And what I'm going to do on these ones, they are going to be hidden. So I'm going to right click on it and do hide, and you'll get this. It's like an eye with a line through it. It means it's not visible. This is where we're going to do our drill through stuff. Let's do that for resource projects budget, where we will drill through from these into our project budget. Let's hide our resource capacity, where we can look at capacity. And let's look at hide demand, hide the resource availability, and hide the resource utilization. Done. Now, what we want to think about here is what are we going to have on each page here. So here I'm going to have some resourcing, some budget with some summary information, and I'm going to need some kind of filter options here on the left hand side. Now, to think about the layout and the design to make it more appealing to your users this is where PowerPoint becomes really useful. So if I go to PowerPoint and think about a design especially if you're not too artistic, etc., and you don't have access to design tools, and typically in a workplace you won't, but you will have access to PowerPoint. So this is where we can use PowerPoint to create our layouts, or the templates for our layouts, and the design for our background. Let me show you. So I've got a blank presentation here, and if I go to design, then you can look at the various different designs here and get ideas, etc., for backgrounds. So I'm going to choose this one with the bubbles. I like that. And then over here, as far as the color themes, I'm going to go with this blue here. So that's great as a background, as a starting point. Then I want something for my filter drop down. So these are going to be tables where I can look at my what categories, the program, the projects, etc., or from a resourcing perspective as well, those filters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to insert a shape. I'm going to take this one with the rounded edges and I'm just going to draw it out here like so. Okay, and then I'm going to the background fill. I'm going to go with that color, and as far as the shape effect, just to make this stand out, is I'm just going to do preset, choose that. So I like that. So if you imagine my filter options sit on the top of that, I'm then going to put a logo up here. So let me just insert a logo. So I'm going to do insert from pictures, this device. There we go, let's choose that one. And then take the picture, let's make this swap. Something like that. Put that up at the top. And then as far as make it a little bit transparent, that's fine. So there I've created a basic layout, and this will suit my portfolio summary, for example. Now, let me create some more templates here in PowerPoint in the same way. Let me create those, and let me create a number of options that I can then work with in my Power BI desktop application. So let me just do that. And there you go. And I've saved this as my Power BI background, series 2 for this training series, and that's done. I've got this for my filters to go on with a logo. I've then got one with the filters that can go on without a logo. I've then got a blank one with the logo where I can put some of my drill throughs on there. And then another one where I've made the logo smaller again for my drill throughs on those support sheets. So now that I've created that, I can then basically go to my file and turn this into a background. So if I do file, save a copy, and what I can do is I can then do the drop down and choose PNG, so a portable network graphic format, and select that, then hit save. I can do it for the slide that I've got selected, but I'm going to do it for all slides now that I've created them. I'm going to do all slides like so. And it's telling me where it's saved each slide as a picture. So it saved it in my backgrounds here for this particular, and it saved it in a folder called Power BI Background Series 2, which is the same as my file name. If I click OK, I can then close that down. And if I navigate to that folder, so there you go. So there's that folder that's created, and it's created these PNG pictures. Wonderful. So if I then just close that down. So how do we get it into our Power BI desktop? So let's look at our portfolio summary here, and let's start with this one. So at the moment, I've got no visuals or anything on here. So with just the background here selected as in the back, no visual selected. If I do format, you see these options, and the option that we want is this canvas background. So if I expand that and then select browse and navigate to that folder, so there it is. If I select that folder, so let's take the first one where I'm going to do my portfolio summary. So if I select that and click open, and you're probably thinking, well, what's it done? It hasn't done anything. Well, we need to change this. So if I take this and move it to 0, we can now see we've got our design. And we are now ready to start adding our visuals to this layout. So let me just do the same thing for budget, resources, and using those visuals. So if you think about what I've just created there, so that's portfolio summary. So let's focus on these three, and then we'll put backgrounds on our support sheets as and when. So on the portfolio budget, it's going to be a bit more information. So let's go to, again, with nothing selected here, format, canvas background, and this time I'm going to go with the one without the logo. Make that 0% transparency, and let's do the same for the resources as well. Make that 0%. There we go. So we've now got our designs and a layout guide here for our portfolio summary, portfolio budget, and portfolio resources. So we are now ready to start adding our visuals to our Power BI report, and that's where I'm going to end this video. In the next video we'll start to build our visuals, and we'll also work with DAX to create some conditional formatting and a new approach there as well that you will learn. So that will all be in the next video. I hope you found this informative. If so, please remember to click that like, subscribe, and smash that notifications button for future content. And as always, I wish you a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Please take care, and look forward to seeing you in the next video from Change, Tips and Tools. Bye bye now.